President Duterte's participation is very important because this is his first participation in an Apec conference, and it affords him the chance to meet his counterparts. I guess they're just as curious to know about him as he is to know them. And Philippines, having been the chair of the Apec last year, we can proudly say that among the topics that were adopted were the role of MSMEs in the economies. I think we can use this to further not only the Philippines agenda in future APEC conferences, but also Peru and other emerging economies. As you well know, in the Philippines, the reason we included this in the agenda is because 99% of employment generation is actually with MSMEs. And other emerging economies like Peru are also in the same boat. So it's also in their interest to promote MSMEs, to help them integrate with the global value chain. Yes, both our countries were colonized by Spain, and there are a lot of traditions, cultural practices, and even religion which we both have in common. We're both Roman Catholic countries. At least the overwhelming majority of the population, they are Roman Catholics. Also, we have shared the same values. We are family oriented. Our Philippine language has a lot of Spanish words. And me personally, when I went around here, and then people ask me from what country I am, because, well, they're curious. They see an Asian guy who talks a little Spanish, and I tell them the Philippines. Then they say, yes, the Philippines. We know Philippines very well. And they mention also their history and our common cultural beliefs, our common history, similar history. So I guess we can start from that, promoting better cultural understanding. With regards to the Filipinos, there aren't as many Filipinos here as there are in other countries. We have various estimates from a low of around 120 to a high of 500. Their profile are those of missionaries, or they're married to Peruvians, or tourists. We normally use the Filipino community to promote our tourism, Philippine tourism. We'd like to promote mutual cooperation in tourism. However, there are some obstacles to overcome, like as you well know, the distance and travel time between Peru and the Philippines is quite large. But that being said, I think there's a lot of common ground between us that we can work on. Well, actually, the Philippine Embassy in Santiago, Chile, of which I am currently the charge d'affaires ad interim, has jurisdiction over 3 countries, Chile, Ecuador, and Peru. And in these 3 countries, actually the number of Filipinos the numbers are very low, for the reasons that I mentioned a while back. But that being said, we continue to use them, like to promote during social events, Filipino community gatherings. We promote the Philippines, and also many of them have local friends. They also invite them, and we also use these opportunities to promote the Philippines with them. On their part, I mean, they also have their respective embassies and even some expatriate communities in the Philippines. They try to promote. So we avail of every opportunity, like also during Independence Day, to promote the Philippines. And also another thing we have to keep in mind is, at least on the economic cooperation front and even broadening of political ties, there's these things called the Pan-Pacific Alliance. These are the Latin American countries that are facing the Pacific. And they would like to broaden cooperation with Southeast Asian nations. The Philippines is the fastest growing economy in Southeast Asia. So we can use that as an opportunity, not only to broaden and expand our political and economic relationship, but also people-to-people engagements. That's what I see. That's the implication that I see, the benefit of our economic growth that we're experiencing right now. The countries of the world are actually focusing on the Philippines right now. Among them, these Latin American countries. Well, he comes in the APEC conference carrying a lot of benefits in terms of I have a good product to sell. I mean, the Philippines is already growing so fast. So you have a lot of incentives to do business with the Philippines. So that's how I see it. But also we have the added benefit, like I said, our common cultural affinity. That's a very big plus. Sometimes it may be hard to quantify, but it's there. We can rely on that to as a leverage in terms of soft power. Because when you talk about culture, they see you as a person, as a people, and how can we relate to each other, rather than just being all about business and even politics. So our economy, based on what I've read, might continue to experience growth this year, and we keep on promoting that wherever we are, and it's been getting some attention. We have to expand our trade ties and also investment. Like here in Peru, I'm very glad to see that we have cooperation in geothermal energy. The Philippine Energy Company, Energy Development Corporation, invested here. I think they invested about $300 million worth for exploration of geothermal power here, and they're very glad for that. Okay, well, President Duterte has made it his position that he wants to develop and expand bilateral relationships with other countries. And APEC is a very rich forum. I mean, its members are about 21 countries. Of course, you have the major economies there. You have, of course, the US, you have Russia, and then you have China. So this affords opportunities for the president to, if the opportunities arise, to meet them, even if informally. So at least he can already establish a relationship with them. And he can leverage on our country's high economic growth, because this is a come-on for so many countries. They're looking now for alternate markets, and as you well know, the Philippines has one of the highest domestic spending levels in Southeast Asian countries. So that's what makes our economy so attractive. So I guess the president, well, you know, it's quite a long way to come to Peru, but despite this, the president is coming, because I believe that he sees the opportunities also here, and also for him to make an impact on the world stage.